have you ever wondered what a funded trader's trades actually look like? Well, today we've got Dom, who's about to break down a trade. He's currently in. He's just taken live, and he's currently up $3,500 on this one trade. So he's going to break down the logic of why he took it, and yeah, we can learn some stuff. So thanks, Dom. Take it away.
Okay, so we're going to trading view. Okay, so starting off at the higher time frame. Okay, first things first. Naturally, looking at the market. Okay, we are in an overall uptrend on the 4-hour time frame.
Yes.
Okay. However, when I look over here at this point, I can see this consolidation around this area. So for me, when we're seeing these wicks in, that for me is an area of support resistance.
Okay.
So coming into the market this morning, because I've got all these trend lines all over the place. So my purple is my daily trend lines. So we've got one coming down from the top here. We've got another one coming up here. The green levels are my fib tool from this high here to the low down here. Okay. So when we get into around like this 61.8 to 78.6, if I'm seeing some strong like levels that I can trade off of, I'm looking to get into the market there, because like usually we see a retracement of around that level for then the next leg to come down. Now, if I'm an intraday trader, so if it doesn't go all the way down, it's not the end of the world for me. So
yeah, it just needs to provide enough of a reaction that you can trade it, right?
So alongside this area of support and resistance here, I have a 4-hour like candle range theory system. So basically, I've back tested the 2 a.m., 6 a.m., and the 10 a.m. candles. Typically, manipulate one side and then we go to the other. So as you can see here, this is a 6 a.m. candle.
This is New York time, yeah.
This is UK time.
Okay.
Obviously, I use London because it's just easier for me. So this is the 6 a.m. candle. The 10 a.m. opened. We've obviously wicked up and created a strong wick, and we've cleared that side. So then now what I'm looking for is a shift downwards, and that's where I go on to the 5-minute or the 15-minute time frames. So then as you can see here, we start to see a bit of a shift, because when we were coming up, we've obviously been creating bullish structure. So then on this here, so this for me would be the most recent higher low. There is the bullish structure. So on the break of that, like if we drew a line coming across here, that there would be a shift in, changing the state of delivery, as some people call it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first sign that potentially we're shifting the trend for now. So that's when I'm looking at where's the place I can get into. So off of this leg, that's obviously created an internal high here, and we broke down and created a new lower low from this previous one here. That's where I then look for price to come back up, and then I'm looking for a mitigation of the supply that caused this. Now, the reason this is a supply is it's a strong impulsive move that, one, broke structure, so gave a shift, and also it's left a gap, so that shows intention, okay? So when it's come back up, I've got a limit order around here. My actual entry was at this point. My stops go above the high, which for me now I'd be taking as maybe the high of the day. And then obviously I'm looking to target the next hourly level that I would look to long off of, which would be this hourly supply within here that aligns with this hourly support.
Wow. Okay.
I know it's a lot of information, but this is what I look for the majority of my trades.
Okay, so you've got, I see like a moving average on there as well. Like, is that something you're paying attention to?
No, that's just on there. That's just from another system that I haven't taken off, in all honesty.
It's fine. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
And then we're hitting a trend line now. Like, I guess, how do you sort of balance out when you've got so many things that you're looking at?
Yeah, funnily enough, I was about to say that realistically now, I'm looking at moving my stops to break even. One, because I'm up, like you said, 3.5, and I've risked about 1,900 on this. So realistically, I'm at a 1 to 2-ish already, or I have been at a 1 to 2 at this low of the wick. So I'm looking to break even this, but also, like you said, I've got this bullish trend line that obviously failed. And then we've respected it with this wick, but then obviously as we've come back above, I'm looking at maybe this is going to bounce back up, and then we go into this next 4-hour level up here, okay, which would be my next level to short from. So yeah, this is confirmation to break even this position, and obviously if it comes back, it comes back. If it hits my take profit, it hits my take profit. Issue being with this buy level is the time of day, so it's 2:15. London session, and I don't typically like to take any trades after 4 p.m. just because volatility is slow, especially with FX pairs. New York PM sessions more indices and gold movement. So yeah, I'd be putting break even on my MetaTrader for this, and then just letting it run out and hopefully securing about 5.3 thousand.
Wow, amazing. So obviously the importance of high time frame, multi-time frame analysis. Obviously, I guess that's where the conviction comes from that potentially a move is going to come from a particular level, and obviously
Yeah.
you're going to lower time frame just to get the confirmation. How do you go about picking your higher time frame levels? Like, what is it that you look for?
So I have certain things. So the highest I'll ever go is the daily time frame. Okay, so daily time frame is my overall trend. So if we just take a look at the daily here, you will see that I've got these purple dashed lines. Okay, you see them?
Yes.
So these are my daily trend levels. Okay, so right here we've got this downtrend here, which if we come up into, we could potentially see wick down back below. I have this failed trend line, which is almost like a break and retest, but I'm using it almost as a support and resistance level. I did have a regression trend coming from this wick following up here. Okay, so this was like a strong level of support that we were bouncing off of.
Okay.
So this is within like the daily time frame as well to be able to come lower. And then obviously I've got this 2-point trend line here that if we do come back below, what can I align with it? Have I got a sweep? Have I got a demand? Something like that I can then look to trade off of. So that's my daily conviction of I'm in an area that potentially we could be looking to come lower. Now, I'm not looking to try and capture the whole daily move. I'm looking to get in and get out same day, make my money. You know what I mean? So like you said, and then the 4 hour, I'm again looking at the market as where are we seeing large institutions and players potentially getting into their positions. Now, we can see that with strong moves away from certain prices. So the yellow box, we have like a strong wick here, which is the first area. And obviously when we come back up, we've seen more further rejection within that. And then each time that we've closed outside of it, tap back in, come back up. And the same here, here, and here. So that's then a level that I look forward to come into and I trade.
Wow. And you said the one above that, obviously you can sell from the wicks. There's a few wicks into it. So it's like levels where price seems to be rejecting from.
Yeah, basically. And that's when I would then drop down my time frames and then look for my confirmations to then say, okay, this is holding. And if we've got a 4 hour wick here, I can use that 4 hour wick as my stop loss as that's the rejection that I'm looking for from this zone. And obviously my red boxes are then the hourly levels of support, which again, you can see that we've had struggle here, 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 and here. And then the same up the top. We've had one close outside, close back in, break lower, close in, break back lower, close above. And that's my next then buy level. You see?
Okay.
So we're almost bounced in between my levels.
Yeah. And I guess that's where I was going to ask about the sort of the management, because the trade before that, you can see there obviously it went back to break even because it sort of respected one of those levels.
This one here. I did actually close out my profits at this high because of the time of day, because it was, like I said a minute ago, 4 o'clock. I wasn't looking to hold overnight. So I did actually close my position here.
Smart.
And it was around 3R, that one. So it was about 6,000 I made on that one. So yeah, the same principles aligned to this was, again, this support wasn't formed at that point. So I was actually running off of just general DXY had a confluence with this. So DXY had taken the high.
Okay. Yeah. That SMT divergence.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, and Euro's done this. Okay. So then what I'm looking for is I've seen an expansion move away. I've then seen obviously this structure here all get closed like above. And then I've seen price coming back below. And again, the 4 hour wick system, this low here is the 6 a.m. low. So then I've marked that up. And then as we've come back down, there's an hourly demand, which is this line just here. So I've had a limit set on that. And then I'm using the low of that demand. So the reason I scaled into this was I've had the sweep of the 4 hour low, which is this wick. Obviously I've got this divergence here. I've then seen a shift up above on that red line.
Yep.
Okay. And then as we've come back down, we then have another 5 minute level of demand just there with this blue line. Okay.
Yep.
So again, limit was set on that. I got tapped into that. And then, my overall target was these highs here, but I closed just here for about 3R, I think it was, which was actually taken on this account. Okay, so you can see there that the initial entry and then obviously my additional entry there off of the demand. Obviously you can see that I closed just at them highs instead of holding overnight. And admittedly, I'd have been taking out break even anyway, so it was a good idea, really.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, how long is it taking you to sort of get your head around these different confluences? And cause like you say, you kind of started getting these little building blocks and constructed this together.
Yeah.
You know, how long is it taking you to kind of, I guess, think what bits are the most important to look at This is what I'm paying attention to now versus that. Because like I said, at the moment, you're fighting between the trend line going up here, but there's a support level here. How do you sort of square that?
Yeah, so realistically, it can sound quite counterintuitive. Like you said, look, my trade, I've got this here, that there, this here. A lot of it's intuition based. So like you said, I spoke earlier about like strategy hopping and all of that, but overall, I've taken the best of what I knew how to use and I kind of manipulated it into my own things. So I look at it and think, if I walked onto an institutional trading floor, what would their charts be looking like? Am I going to be hearing fair value gaps, order blocks, this, that, and the other? Or am I going to be hearing trend lines, support here, all of these things? And I'm looking, okay, so if I know that they might be looking at that, if I look at that as well as using some of the more, I suppose, retail concepts, quotation marks around retail, to then be able to get more accurate entries, then for me, that's on the right path. Because you want to align yourself with that institutional side of trading just to be safe.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I guess doing that on the higher time frames makes sense as well. Because you say, if there's like a daily trend line,
chances are
there's going to get some sort of reaction.
Yeah,
right?
because at the end of the day, if the trend line's been created, that means that there's either going to be at least 2 points of rejection.
Yeah.
And we know that we're not creating them rejections, it's the institutions that are creating them. So if I can get into the market at the same time as them, now I'm not saying that's how they trade, but on my basis, if I can assume that they are, then all is good.
How do you decide personally when to
break even?
Go to break even, or and like a lot of the things you've said have been like about times of the day.
Yes.
Is that something that you pay a lot of attention to?
Yeah. So with FX pairs, I don't normally like to hold overnight just because of swaps and the gaps are a little bit dodgy on FX pairs.
Okay.
But yeah, no. When it comes to the time of day, like I don't like to hold trades through London close, because London close typically what you can see is profit taken. I don't know if you're just familiar with the things. So like if you imagine, say, an institution has bought throughout the day. So if we said like on this move up, so let's just say that the institution to drive in price higher, they're going to want to take their profits at some point. So when we start seeing lower pricing again, we could then say maybe they're taking profits, or when it comes back up, they're taking profits, which is then causing this to happen. So as we're coming back lower, especially on London close, do these London institutions want to hold their trades overnight? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, yeah.
Get out my trade. That's going to then cause an effect in the market, and potentially that will flip other people in the market to go, I'll go short now, because they're seeing their confirmations. You see, so because what you will normally see is like if you have a strong trending day, like around the closing of sessions, you'll see like a pullback that's a bit stronger than what has been for the rest of the day, and that's usually what I take as like a profit taking sort of pullback for then continuation.
Wow. I mean, is this stuff that you just notice yourself through back testing?
It's just basically just like seeing it in the charts and then just being like, I'll apply that, and like you said, back testing. It's just. It's a thesis that you come up with yourself, I think, more than anything else. And if you can make sense to your own thesis, then you're on the right path, because losses make sense to you. The wins make sense to you. There's no question in it, because it's you yourself. Like I said, we need to take accountability. If you're trading someone else's system, they've taught me wrong, or I don't trust that. This is all me. I cannot argue with myself about that position. So
wow, that's fantastic. All right, let's see how this is doing.
So we're still hovering around here. So this is usually be my place that I would put my stop loss to break even. But I'm not going to whilst we're on camera now anyway. So yeah, that would be that.
Okay. Well, make sure you run to take profit.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Thanks for breaking down that trade with us. I think people are going to be able to take some stuff from that. I think definitely the timings towards the close of the sessions, because like you said, I guess, retail traders aren't the ones moving the prices. These big organizations are having to move large amounts of volume. And if you can get some sort of idea in your own head, like whatever makes sense to you, but if you can get some sort of idea of this is where I think they're doing this, where I think they're doing that, if you can get yourself on the right side of that,
then
it's always going to be a good thing.
Exactly that. So yeah, that's that. So like as you can see, this rejection now is quite extreme. But again, I'm not going to close because I'm close to take profit. I'll just let it ride out, because if I start closing my trades early,
where does that lead?
It messes my system up. Do you know what I mean?
And that's what we got asked as well. Is like,
I mean, if I was up, if I was up, say 4%,
and
it came back to 2.5, I'm going to close that.
Yeah.
But when it's only a 2.5 R trade, the chances are I'm just going to hold it out and just take a break even, because it's not the end of the world for my system.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, when you start breaking your rules, like it's a bit like if someone's like on a diet, someone's trying to eat healthy. I remember I'll be there at work and someone will be like, "Can you have a donut?" I'm like, "No, I'm right, thanks." But just one won't hurt you. I'm like, "Well, no, it won't." But like, what makes today different to tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly that. And
What
it's
is it that means that I'll say yes now, but I won't say yes
Yeah.
tomorrow? And it's the same with this. If you start thinking, "Oh well, on this trade,
Yeah.
I'll just close it
it's almost a
early."
fear factor as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that? When you see the number, like I said, you can't focus on the number because if you do,
Yeah.
you see that 3,000, you're, oh, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But my system tells me to hold and break even. If I get out of this one in fear, tomorrow, fear.
Exactly.
No matter what happens, I've got to trust the system. And yeah, so this will be break even or
100%.
take profit.
And you want to be able to get to a stage where like you think, where do I want to be in the future? Man, I want to be at the stage where I can be running 50k in profit.
Yeah, 100%.
And not feel anything about
exactly
it.
that.
Right?
Exactly that.
So this is the practice for it.
Just it.
Amazing. All
All
right.
right.
Amazing breakdown. Thank you, my friend.
No worries.
And I think people have enjoyed that. So guys, if you want more amazing trade breakdowns from profitable funded traders, subscribe and like and leave us comments and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.